This mini seminar is about a capability that I have discovered in Mozilla Firefox, which I use as my browser, which I know helps me navigate around the internet very much more effectively and easily. I hope it will help you do the same. I think this capability could be set up to some degree in Internet Explorer, but it's a lot harder to set up, and I have found Firefox more stable, faster, and generally easier to use. First, I will show you what I have set up to find my way around the internet on Firefox, and I'll demonstrate how I use it. And then I'll take all of that off my browser and show you how to set it up from scratch. The feature that I have found so useful in Firefox is the Bookmarks Toolbar. If you look under View in Firefox and then go to Toolbars, you can see all the various toolbars that I have set up to be on my browser now. There's a Google toolbar, the menu bar, the navigation toolbar, and this Bookmarks toolbar, which has a check next to it. That Bookmarks toolbar is this line right here. And you will see that I have a whole bunch of folders on that Bookmarks toolbar. That's where I go on the internet, and it's organized by those subjects that I look at either daily or when I'm interested in the weather, or when I want to see the news, or when I want to look at information about or competitors' information about my vacation rental in Hawaii, or when I want to go onto Craigslist and post something, or when I want to look on Craigslist or FreeCycle to perhaps obtain something. This is what I'm going to be talking about for the rest of this mini seminar. Let me show you how it works and how you can change it anytime you want. Every day I usually go to several different places on the internet. The first one is usually the stock market to see what it's doing or did today. It did better at the end than it did at the beginning. It was down 200 points when I looked early this morning, but it only ended up down 59. So I click on this daily folder and I find all the different places that I might want to go. If I want to see what's going on the east side of Kauai, I click there, and a webcam that's hung on the front of Bubba's Burgers in Kapa'a shows up and shows me what's going on the main road through Kapa'a on Kauai. If I click daily and go down to the moose signal, I get what Decision Moose is suggesting that you do right now in the stock market. This folder contains stuff that I often go to daily. Now it has one folder in it that I'm really not going to daily right now. I was for a while, but I'm not right now. So let me show you how easy it is to move stuff in this toolbar for bookmarks. I want to put this in my travel folder. My travel folder is usually right over here, but because I had to change the resolution of the screen for this recording, my travel folder is two more to the right, which when you run out of room here, it just continues on down in this drop-down menu. So I'm going to move my daily, an item in my daily folder called Costa Rica. I'm holding down my left mouse button. I'm now dragging over here. When I get over there, this opens. I'm now going to go down in that folder to travel, and I'm going to let go. And when I let go, the Costa Rica folder ends up at the bottom. Anything you let go in one of these folders ends up at, if you don't show it exactly where to go, it ends up at the bottom. But I can move it by once again holding down my left mouse button and moving it up until I get to the little line just below Campground San Diego County. And when I let it go, now Costa Rica is there. That shows you how easy it is to move things around in this Bookmarks Toolbar. Let's go to a few other places that I often find myself wandering toward on a daily basis. I have a folder for news. I can get to CNN and look at their headlines and other news. I can go to the Fox News channel here. I can go to the Honolulu Star Bulletin or Star Advertiser newspaper. I can go to San Diego Area News with Sign On San Diego. I have put all of those in this news folder. Let me show you another folder. I have one called Hawaii Information. And in there, I have another folder. You can put folders within folders. So in the drop-down menu, the first thing is a folder. And when I get to that folder, it shows the things that I have put in that particular folder. That saves space over here. We have free or cheap things to do in Oahu. 101 cheap or free fun things to do in Oahu, a website that I found. We have free activities in Waikiki. We have all the individual tours at Kualoa Ranch, which is a place where a lot of movies about Hawaii have been made and where the new Hawaii Five-0 series is being filmed, in part. Now let me show you how you add something to this Bookmarks Toolbar. Supposing that I want to add another news source in this news folder, like another newspaper. One of our kids lives in San Jose, and if I type in San Jose Mercury News and click Enter, I get the home web page of the San Jose Mercury News. And there it is. Now, that website address is up here right now. And if I want to add that to my news folder, I hold down my left button on my mouse and I drag that over to news, and when I get to news, the news folder opens up, and I can either let go while I'm in the news folder, in which case it will end up down at the bottom, or maybe, I'm not sure about that, maybe it ends up at the top, who knows. Or I can go down through the things that are in that folder and put it right after the Garden Island News. That's the newspaper for Kauai. If I put that, let go here, Now we have the home page of the San Jose Mercury News. And whenever I click on that, I'll get back to this web page. Now let's talk about how you would set up a Bookmarks Toolbar in your Mozilla Firefox browser if you didn't know what a Bookmarks Toolbar was or how to find one. You would start. Oh, and by the way, I have deleted all the bookmarks and all the folders in my Bookmarks Toolbar so I can demonstrate this to you. I backed them all up first because otherwise you would have seen a large mushroom cloud somewhere in the vicinity of Hawaii when I was preparing this. So, you start by clicking on View, going to Toolbars under View, and putting a check mark next to the Bookmarks Toolbar. I now have the same space where I had all those folders before, but there's nothing there. In order to start this process, I right-click in that space. And by the way, this mini seminar will be on YouTube, so you can play this at home. You don't need to try to remember what I am showing you on the big screen today. So you go to this space and you right-click in that blank space, and you click New Folder, and a new folder shows up. You add it there so it stays put. Now you go to your favorite website, which you might find in Google. Maybe you go to Google, www.google.com. You go there, and then in Google you search for your favorite website, Hawaiian quilting. I'm sure some of you have that as your favorite website, right? How about Hawaii quilting patterns? That sounds even more interesting. And you go there, and welcome to Volcano, Hawaii, and you get a lot of quilting patterns. You now have that website address right up here. So let's say that you want to call this first new folder Hawaiiana. You go to Properties of that new folder, and it shows you the name of that new folder. Let's say we decide that we want to call it Hawaiiana, Hawaiiana. You save that, and it changes the name to Hawaiiana. You then take this address for this Hawaiian quilt patterns, and you drag it to the folder and let go. And now, when you click on Hawaiiana, you see this one thing in that form. You can also change what this is called by going to Properties and typing something different in here if you prefer, if it will help you remember what that is. Let's say you have something else that you really like about Hawaii. Let's say hula dancers. You find that in Google, and you want to find a place to hire hula dancers. There is a place to hire hula dancers in Maryland, New York, Tennessee, and where is it? Here we are, California hula dancers. Probably even in San Diego. Okay, let's say that you want to that you regularly go to the place in San Diego where you can hire hula dancers. And there it is. So you take this website address and you drag it down to Hawaiiana and you put it just after Hawaiian quilt patterns. And now whenever you click on your Hawaiiana folder, you can go to your Hawaiian quilt patterns or your hula dancers in San Diego. Let's say that you now want another different folder for places that you go to for news. You click New Bookmark. Excuse me, that's wrong. You click over here in the blank space, you click New Folder, and it puts a new folder up there, and we're going to call that News. There's our News folder. Now we're going to go to Google, and we're going to type in San Diego Union Tribune. Right there. And we're going to go to that website, which puts it up here. Sign on San Diego is the name of that website. And we're going to drag that down into News. So now you have two folders with two different things, and you can keep doing this until you have brought up all the places that you go. And maybe you will even put one in that's called a new folder that's called New Prospects. And whenever you see something, when you're wandering around, you click on something in your email. If you click on it in your email, as I might over here, and you get a website on there that you go to, let me pull one up. You can't just drag that over to Mozilla Firefox directly. When you get to this particular website that you're interested in putting in your favorites on Firefox because you saw it on an email, you have to click on its address in the browser that comes up when you click on it in your email. And when you get that address highlighted, you then copy it by typing Control-C. You go back to your Firefox browser, you click Control-V, you click the arrow, which brings up what you were looking at in your email browser. Now you have it in Firefox, and you can drag it to your New Prospects folder. And after you think about that for a while, maybe you can move it to some other folder that you want to keep permanently. That's how I use Firefox. Now let me show you how to back up and restore your Bookmarks Toolbar, because I'm going to go back to where I was before I started putting this presentation together. You go to Bookmarks, you click that, and you click Show All Bookmarks. And you get a library of bookmarks. I'm going to first delete the ones that I just put on to demonstrate that. If I go to my Bookmarks Toolbar, it shows Hawaiiana, News, and New Prospects. I'm going to click the first one, hold down the Shift key, click the last one. Then I'm going to right-click on all three of them, and I'm going to click Delete. Now I'm going to go to Import and Backup, and I'm going to go to Restore, and I'm going down to Choose File. When I backed these all up a couple of hours ago, I put the backed up file in my Documents Often Used, and I have a folder specifically for Firefox bookmarks. And the one I used, or the name that it came up with, because it gives you the date when you do one of these backups, was this one. I'm going to click Open. And this will replace all of your current bookmarks with the backup. Are you sure? I certainly am. And when I close this library, I now see the daily and Hawaii info and news and my travel folders in my Firefox Bookmarks Toolbar. I hope you have found this useful.